is Lisa, the original designing diva. I'm here today with a quick video to share with you this pretty blue leather faux dory that I made. And I know there are a ton of videos out there on how to make faux dories and tours of faux dories, but this one is different in that I made it from a Franklin Covey classic size planner. This is the planner that it came from. I purchased this planner many years ago. I used it lovingly for a very long time. Of course, with use, the leather eventually became marred, and if you can see, this planner is actually warped. So it's been sitting in my closet for quite some time now, and I decided I would repurpose it into something I would use. And I recently discovered Midori, and from there I discovered faux dories, and I fell in love with the faux dories because I can make a book the size I want to fit the number of inserts that I want, and I can make the inserts anything I need them to be. I can customize them to be whatever I need them to be. To me, it's the perfect planning system, and it all fits in this neat little package that doesn't take up a ton of room on my desk. I've used ring binders in the past, and I have ring binders that I still use that are set up for my Etsy shops and my blog, and I will continue to use them because it's a system that works. I'm not going to mess with it. But for my personal planning, this is what I'm going to be using from now on. This book, closed and stuffed, you can see how stuffed it is the size of a Midori traveler's notebook. But if I were to take all the inserts out and flatten this book out, you would see that it's wider. It's not taller. It's not taller this way, but it is wider this way. And the reason, you can see that in the spine here, how much width there is in the spine. And the reason I did that was because I knew I'd be stuffing this book, and I don't like when the inserts stick out past the cover. So I made this cover big enough so that wouldn't happen. And I also like my closure elastic to come out of the center of the spine instead of at the back of the book. So I made this book that way. I added some deeper blue eyelets to the holes, and I used 2 different shades of blue elastic in this book. And the charm on the front, this is made from a Tim Holtz book plate, and I threaded the elastic through the book plate, and then I attached this pretty lapis stone. It's a deep blue with some gold running through it to the book plate to make the charm for the front of this book. And I thought it was a pretty compliment to the blue of the leather. This leather band here with the contrast stitching was part of the original closure of the planner that I used. It extended like that from the planner. Well, of course the planner cover went along with it. You can see where I cut it off. And it had this belt embellishment thing, and it has a magnetic closure. I did consider trying to figure a way to use this as a closure for this book, but decided to stick with the traditional Midori elastic closure, and I'm glad I did because I like it. I like the charm and the nice clean strip of leather here. The inside of the book, the faux dory, the leather faux dories that I have available on my Etsy shop, I finish completely different than this. What I do is I cut my leather to size, the book size I want, and then I cut a piece of matching cardstock, and I adhere it with heat bond adhesive to the inside of the planner. And the heat adhesive makes it adhere very nicely to the leather, and it makes for a nice clean look because you've got one solid sheet of cardstock covering the whole inside of the book. And then I punch my holes and string my elastic and all that stuff. And it's a much more finished, professional look to the inside of your planner. When I made this book, I was out of the heat bond adhesive. So I had already hole punched my holes and added the eyelets when I decided I wanted to finish the inside leather. And so I used, this is actually a file folder. I wanted something thicker that I knew wouldn't warp when I attached it to the leather. So this blue is a file folder that I cut down, and I attached this printed piece of cardstock. There's one on the front and there's a different one on the back. And they match my insert covers. That's why I chose those. And then I attached it to the leather with bookbinding glue, which it will hold up. It looks nice. I personally don't like it as well as the way I typically finish my books. And if I ever make myself another book, I will finish it in that fashion. But for now, this is for me, and it looks pretty. It's just, I don't think as nice a finish as what I typically do. So that is this book. I'm not going to do a tour of this book today because I plan on doing another video with a tour of this book and of my wallet, which is a actual Midori that I altered to use as my wallet. And I plan on doing a video, tutorial video on how to make one of these out of a planner you may have that you're no longer going to use. You can use any kind of planner. I used a Franklin Covey because that's one I had, but you could use Franklin Covey, K, Filofax, any planner that you feel you're never going to use again and you'd like to try Midori, you can use. I hope to get that video done fairly soon, and when I do, I will put the link to it below so you can check it out if you want. But for now, this is Lisa, the Original Designing Diva, and I'm saying bye-bye, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.